James Taylor asks over on TikTok, weird question, would social media be better off without algorithms? I have an extremely weird and nerdy and annoying opinion about all of this. And my answer is, I think yes, but more broadly, I think social media shouldn't exist. I think the notion of centralized platforms having the controls of communications on the internet is the wrong organizational structure. Said another way, I don't think that a single website should be allowed to have more than like 1 million users. Because at that point, your website has become essentially a small country and you have way too much control. The internet is already a decentralized platform for communications, and it is a lot easier than you might think to have your own website. But like the concept of the internet was, or like the idea of like how we could go about communicating online would be like everybody can have a website and everybody can have a homepage and you could publish whatever the fuck you wanted there. There is no terms of service. You just publish what you want to publish. There's the only person that is being held accountable is you. And then there was some technology layered on top of that to allow people to like follow each other's updates and, you know, crosstalk a little bit. But the idea of that is it's difficult to actually teach people to do all that. And so these platforms made it really, really easy, right? Like think earlier with like blogging platforms, right? Like Blogspot, LiveJournal, Tumblr, stuff like that. They made it a lot easier for you to make your own homepage, right? But you had your homepage there, you had your feed, you had your blog, and it was subject to their terms of service. And that's the problem, is if you are using somebody else's technology to host your own voice, you are 100% beholden to them. And whatever they do, you just have to deal with it. You have literally no power. The only thing you can do is leave. But all these networks are built to want to make it so you don't leave, right? They have the buy-in effect. That was actually proven originally with PayPal. That's where all the social media concepts came from. Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and a bunch of other like tech overlords were at PayPal, and their bet was essentially if everybody's on PayPal, everybody will use PayPal and nobody's gonna wanna leave because you're locked in. And that's why PayPal was so big. And then they took that concept and started to be advisors and invest in all these social media companies that followed the same model, but instead of money, it was social equity. And so now we have all of these platforms that host billions of people, and everyone is publishing and complaining and talking about how, you know, they're getting deplatformed. There's literal entire government oversight hearings happening right now about is big tech silencing the right? Like, hey, go make your own fucking website then. That's the problem. You're leaning into capitalism. You're leaning into private companies monitoring speech. That is the issue. That is so very avoidable by the foundations of the internet. And like, that's what Truth Social is. I'm not mad about Truth Social. It's fucking dumb. The people on it are fucking dumb, but I'm not mad about it. They have every right to go make their little website where they're gonna, you know, all congregate together and be a cesspool. But I would prefer that version of the internet because there's a hard boundary there. If you're not on Truth Social, then you're not on Truth Social. Just like if you're not on Twitter, you're not on Twitter. You don't have to be on those platforms to be on the internet. Right? Ultimately, like I would prefer a world in which it is far easier for the average person to spin up a website and produce something of like, you know, on their own terms rather than have to go through a platform. So to the question of would social media be better without algorithms? I think that the current concept of social media as we have it is fundamentally broken. And so the existence or non-existence of algorithms is more of an extension of that fundamental breakage. And that is my obnoxious, long-winded take on algorithms and social media. I'm sorry that went on for so long.